yourself. Welcome to the Sit Down.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. It's nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well.
It's always good to have refreshing conversations with rising stars such as yourself. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so
No
much.
problem. Do you still consider yourself to be an underground artist?
Yeah, in a sense. Definitely in a sense, I still feel I'm coming from an underground stage. Even though I did get that worldwide exposure through Netflix, I still feel that there's a lot of work to do as far as breaking through and getting that first big single on the radio and stuff like that. So yeah, the mentality's still underground for sure.
One thing I pride myself on is I am more intrigued to underground than I am industry any day.
Sure.
And I feel like you've been doing music for a while now before you got your big break. About 6 or 7 years of putting music out. Is that right?
Yep, totally. I've been releasing for something like that, around like 8 years, almost 10 years now. Yeah.
What was the first platform that you released your music on?
First platform was probably YouTube, and then SoundCloud became a big thing. So it was using YouTube and SoundCloud, and then all the rest of the streaming platforms kind of took off from there. So.
Okay. About how long do you think it took people to start streaming and reposting or resharing your music?
The first couple joints I put out like really didn't do too much. They were doing real well like locally, like at my high school and stuff like that. This was still in like CD days, right? So like before even posting on YouTube and SoundCloud, like I was handing out CDs in the hallway and like to my friends and my family and getting that honest feedback, and people would be like, "No, man, like you're pretty nice. Like you just need a little bit of work here and there." But probably it took me like 3 years or so of like actually releasing stuff and putting it out there to the public, where like blogs started posting it and stuff like that.
So did you ever have a fear that people wouldn't be as receptive to your music the first time you started to release?
Always. I think any artist, regardless if you're doing rock or R&B or hip hop, or you paint pictures, or you're a photographer, like any artist I think is going to be somewhat self-conscious and be a little nervous, like, people are gonna fuck with this, or like, is it trash? But I had a lot of homies and people, and I'd go to open mics and stuff like that, and people would be like, "Yo, you're nice, man. Keep going." So I always had that battery in my back. But of course, you're always gonna be nervous, like, man, what if they don't fuck with it? Like,
I feel like as for underground artists or unsigned artists, most of their income or their stream income comes from bookings and shows. Do you remember your first experience on your first performance?
So my first performance, it was not paid. I did it for the look. So every year it was like a tradition at my high school that the senior class, they throw this comedy show, and they would always do it at the music hall right here downtown.
Cool.
So I got to perform.
That's kind of big.
Yeah, it was big. It was a lot of people. So like I got to perform for a ton of people. And
was it just your high school involved, or was it other high schools?
No, it was just mine. Yeah, just mine.
Wow.
But there was just a ton of people there, and so it was that first like real performance at a real venue on a real stage with a real crowd, and the reception from it was just it was really good. So
and what high school did you go to?
Grosse Pointe South.
Grosse Pointe South.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go there your entire
No, I
duration of
went
high
there.
school?
I went there through 11th grade, and then I graduated from Comstock High School, which is in Kalamazoo, because I had moved out of my mom's house and moved with my dad. My dad lives on the west side of the state in Kalamazoo, and I finished high school there because I was kind of fucking around too much.
Yeah.
So had to go make sure I walk across the stage on time, kind of thing. So.
Well, hey, that's a good thing. It's always a good thing. I feel like there's always a time where underground artists are looking for investors and managers in the beginning stages. What's your outlook on management as an independent artist?
Yeah, I mean, as an independent artist, it's I guess that's part of being independent. Like you are your manager kind of sometimes, but I mean, I have a manager now, and the money obviously because of the pandemic has slowed up a little bit.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to facilitate their needs and my needs at the same time. But I mean, in the earlier stages, I wouldn't worry too much about it. You gotta put in the legwork. You gotta get your name out there. You gotta do those small open mics. You gotta take those unpaid gigs. You gotta do songs with everybody and anybody, just so anybody who's a fan of them is gonna cross with your fans, and then now you have a bigger platform. So it's like you kind of just in the beginning, I wouldn't worry too much about it, but I would do say it's definitely needed.
Yeah.
You need some sort of management, some sort of team behind you that's helping you, guiding you, make decisions, so you're not just doing every single thing on your own.
How do you think it would have different if you did have a manager in the beginning stages?
Maybe I'd be a little bit farther along. Like if I had someone with some industry experience from the get-go that was putting me in right positions and getting me shows and getting me booked studio sessions with other people and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe it'd be a different story. But yeah, it just didn't really. I had been approached and stuff like that, but I just didn't want to do it with people I wasn't comfortable with. So my homie was my manager, and we just we're kind of just sticking it through it like that.
Yeah, most of the time that usually works out as someone that's closer to you. Yeah,
you got to have someone that you can trust and has your best interests, instead of just someone who looks at you like, oh, I can make some money off this kid or whatever. So yeah.
So what about now? Like, do you have investors reaching out to you after you've done the Netflix series? And
I mean, not so much like investors, but people that are definitely trying to help, you know, whether that's I guess, you know, give me production and like shoot videos. Like there's hungry kids out there that are like, hey man, check out these beats. You can have them for free, or I'll shoot this video for free, or I got you on this gig, but I can only pay you this much. There's people definitely looking out. I wouldn't say full blown like I want to put money behind you people yet, because like I said, I'm still kind of trying to break through onto a more mainstream level after the show. But that'll come. I think it's just a real slow time for the industry. So a lot of people are already
especially
scared.
Right now.
A lot of people are scared about where their next check's coming from in general. So labels don't want to gamble right now on new artists that aren't established. That's how the industry works today. Is like they want you to do all the work. They want you to blow up, and then they come in.
And then
there's no artist development anymore. They don't want to just sign you, help you out, try to build you to be the best artist you can be. So we're still just working, trying to get the right situation in place and just keep making music until then.
Yeah, so the Netflix series, it was their first music competition starring Cardi B, T.I., Chance the Rapper, Rhythm and Flow. And you survived through a few of the episodes, or a series, I should say.
Yeah, I made it to 8 out of 10 episodes. So that was a win for me.
Yeah, you had the rap battle, you did the music video, you also did the cypher, which I feel like they were kind of doubting you doing the cypher. I don't know why, because you fucking killed it.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it just, at the end of the day, it's Hollywood. So it's like, we gotta be tough on this white boy kind of thing. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think they knew. They're like, yeah, he's got potential, we'll see it through. And I was able to shine in every moment. And I'm proud of every performance I went up there. I did my thing. I put my best foot forward every single time, and I think I handled each challenge that was thrown at me pretty well.
Yeah, I feel like the first time that I seen you actually smile on that series was after the performance that you did. Yeah. That must have been like a really good feeling after that.
Yeah. If you mean they gave you the challenge, you had like 2 days to make the record, and then like 1 day to memorize the whole thing in that performance. So. Yeah, I've always prided myself on being a really good performer as far as like breath control and the enunciation of all the words and keeping the crowd engaged and being active and moving around on stage. So I knew that I was gonna be able to really hone in and take care of business with that.
Yeah. Do you feel like the show has helped your awareness as an artist?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's given me, like I said, it's given me a global platform. It's increased my revenue through streaming. It's increased my revenue through my YouTube channel. Yeah. It's given me fans all across the world. I got people from, everywhere, from France, Africa, Russia, Japan, DMing me every day like, yo man, you're incredible, keep going. So it's
I agree.
Yeah, it's really thank you.
No problem.
It's really helped. It's really helped a lot, the show.
Are you still in contact with any of the artists that
those are we're all brothers and sisters for life, because we went through that gauntlet together. They were kind of, the producers of the show, they kind of wanted it to be a little more
competitive.
Jersey Shore, making another band, drama, like, They'd get you in an interview and they'd be like, yo, so said this about you. How does that make you feel? And we,
oh, wow.
Yeah,
really?
You know, but like they were getting mad because like after being there for a week, we were all kicking it. Like we would do, you know, we do 15-hour days on the set, like filming, and then we'd go to a bar afterward and kick it. So it's like, yeah, we're all friends. I got records with a few people on the show already, and I got some new records with some other folks from the show as well. So. Are
you producing any of those records?
Oh yeah, all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I make most of my own production. It's just easier that way for me at this stage. Just so I don't have to worry about, you know, splits. But as of late, I've actually been doing some work with other producers too, just so I can broaden the sound and not get stuck in my own little circle. But yeah, just as far as I prefer to take the reins on my projects, right? When it comes to a feature or it comes to doing some collaborative work with some other producers, always down.
Yeah. If there's one thing that you could have done differently on the show, what would that have been?
Someone asked me that question not too long ago. I did an interview not too long ago, and I got asked that same question, and the answer is nothing. Yeah. Like I never went up there and forgot a bar. I never went up there and fumbled. I didn't start drama with the cast. I didn't. There was just no way that like anybody could see any of my performances and be like, dude, it's whack. You know, like I went out there and did my thing, and the cards fell how they fell the night I went home, and it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, well, I think you did an amazing job.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
So what's next for you? I know that you were doing a few dope tracks during the quarantine pandemic.
So basically, I'm just trying to stay active and stay in people's faces, right? We can't tour. I had to cancel thousands of dollars worth of gigs I was going to get paid, but that's just, everyone's going through it. Even the top big name artists are struggling. They had to cancel stadium tours, and I'm complaining about my little theaters and shit I was doing. So but just staying in people's faces. I was doing a quarantine freestyle thing for a long time, or you know, every 2 days, every other day, something like that. I was dropping in freestyles, and they were all like, for the most part, sometimes I'd rap over a classic beat or something, but for the most part, they were all original tracks. And I was just getting blown up constantly to put those songs out. So I put together just a little mixtape of all the quarantine freestyles called Isolation Chamber. Okay. So that's out now. You can stream all those right now on all platforms.
Perfect.
And just like I said, trying to stay in people's faces as much. Have a ton of records in the tuck that are ready to drop as like singles, little loosies here and there, collaborative projects in the works as well. So just like trying to stay active, stay in people's faces.
Yeah. Are you planning on, once the pandemic is over, are you planning on releasing an EP or album?
Yeah, so that's, like little EPs here and there, little singles here and there, but I don't want to give like a full album effort until we're able to, you know, start doing some shows behind it, or start shooting some music videos with a lot of people, because these ideas that we're drafting up for the album that I'm working on, we're gonna need some bodies and some videos, and we wanna take it to the next level. We don't want it just to be just another mixtape that comes out on a Friday and people forget about it Sunday night. You know how it is in this industry. So with the whole streaming thing, people's ADHD brain, it's just like they give it that one listen the day it comes out, and it's like, unless something's on the radio, unless something's going viral, unless something's really sticking.
Even if they enjoy it.
Even if people will be like, yeah, that's fire, and then never listen to it again, you know, just because next Friday there's a whole nother batch of albums coming out. So just singles, music videos, and maybe an EP here or there, 4 or 5 songs, but no album effort as of right now. But we're ready for it. We got a lot of songs in the tuck ready to go, so we just got to organize and really like strategize and get everything together. Yeah.
Are you planning on having any features?
Oh yeah, reaching out to some people, local as well as, elsewhere, but yeah, definitely there's gonna be a lot of features coming up, some big names and stuff like that, so I'm pretty excited. Can't really sponge anything yet.
Because I was sure gonna say, like,
we're still waiting for some verses to get sent back, so some stuff's coming, but yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah, okay, so if there's any advice that you can give to unsigned artists that's looking to have the opportunities that you did, what would that be?
Cliche as hell and total boring answer, I'm sure, but just never give up, man. Never give up. There's been so many times where I was like, man, I gotta go back to college. I gotta get a 9 to 5, and I just never did. And, you know, I kept working that shitty job and kept doing shows every single weekend and kept knowing that I had to be up at 5 in the morning for my job. I was still out till 2 in the morning at an open mic cypher trying to battle kids or whatever, you know? Like, just, you have to keep going if you're really good at it. And if you just believe in yourself and you keep pushing, one day you're gonna bump into that person and you're like, oh shit, let me rap for you or whatever. It's gonna happen. If you're good at what you do, you put in the work. So people say like, oh, he got lucky and that's how he got signed or whatever. He got lucky with a big single, but like the people, you make your own luck. Like the people that get lucky, it's because they work their ass off. So that they were rewarded for that. So just never throw in the towel, man. The moment you do, it's a wrap. You're not gonna go back. You're not gonna quit and then a couple months later be like, you know what, I think I'm gonna start rapping again, you know? Like, just don't stop.
Yeah, so if there's one word to describe Sam Be Yourself, what would that word be? And why?
I would say creative. Creative.
I love
that. That's really just what I base my whole self on. Is just I can take the guy that I studied music through. His name is Nolan Mercer. He's a Tony Award winning mix engineer. He's done songs. He's mixed albums for like Dave's Loaf. He's done work with Big Sean. Everybody you can ever imagine out of Collective Studio. Shout out to Prevail. But he gave me this. He said this thing to me that's stuck with me to this day, and I still tell other artists this when they're like, "Oh, well, I don't have a nice microphone, or I don't have a studio to go to." It's not the gear and how you use it; it's your ear for the music. So I always pride myself on being creative and being able to make a lot with the little that I have. So.
Right. I mean, that's the best way to go.
Exactly.
I want to thank you so much for having to sit down with me.
I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your craft. And I look forward to your continued rising journey as an artist.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much for having me out here just to kick it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.